Too about, what was your, back in 2008, you made this decision as well, this life-altering decision. Tell us a little bit about that as well.
Well, I left the corporate world, I guess, forever, hopefully forever. Mm-hmm. And, you're moving from security, salary, company car.
Sure thing.
Yeah. And, I've got 2 small kids at this time, and I'm saying, right, this is horrible. I'm missing my kid's life. Mm-hmm. This was the biggest thing is, I'm trading my time with my family for that.
Yeah.
So it's security versus time for my family.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't care how much money I have. If I grow up with my, not knowing my kids and them not seeing me, I'll have been a failure as a parent. That was the way I looked at it. And I said, you know what? I may go to Phuket and things may not work out, but at least while they're in the process of not working out, I'll be there with my kids. Amazing. And I was for the first, until my kids went into school full time. I was working from home. I was going on meetings and stuff, but I'd have a break. I'd take my kids to the playground. And I'd have another break. I'd take my kids on the beach. And I could see my kids all day long, every single day, in and out of working. And so I made this big move from being in Bangkok, and everybody says you're crazy. You can't do financial services in Phuket. There's no big corporations. There's no jobs. There's no big money there. And I proved everyone wrong and made more money than anybody else in my company over the last 5 years. Based in Phuket, traveling around the region, of course, but, it's just the thing is, okay, just because you're going to live in Phuket, like maybe, why does that mean you have to only focus on Phuket? And because I think I lived in Phuket, surrounded by big cities, my market became Jakarta, KL, Bangkok, and anywhere else I could fly to, and if you're stuck in a big city, people in Bangkok focus on only Bangkok. So even though I went to a place that maybe didn't have a lot of business, it actually had the weird effect that it opened my horizons to a much bigger place.
And it's happened. How did you deal with? I mean, be it we want to change careers, we want to try something new in life. We want to let go of that old and embrace the new, but yet we still have that voice in our head that's saying, "Don't. You're gonna F up."
You just gotta learn to not listen to it, and how everybody does is maybe different, but you've got to learn to just shut it down and say, my heart wants what my heart wants, and if you don't follow it, I'm going to go to my deathbed saying, what if I had just given that a try? And there are probably things I look back at my life and say, I kind of think I had an opportunity and I didn't take it, but with all the big opportunities in my life, I've gone after them, and it may be that it took some time to get the courage to do it, but when you eventually do get the courage, you've just got to say, right, the heart is more important than the logic in my brain, and I'm only going to live this one time, or 1,000 maybe if I'm a Buddhist, but, maybe the rest
we don't touch that here.
The next 9,999 may be a frog. So, like, I'm a human right now, and I've got this opportunity, and let's give it a go, and the heart says I'm going to do this. I'm going to make the brain figure out a way to follow my heart and make it work, and make my heart work for my brain, not the other way around.
Yeah. And I think Dave, you touched on something that's really important here. I know that a lot of people far too often fall into this trap of they're worried about what other people are going to think.
Right.
And you said it, that everybody said you're crazy, you're nuts to do this.
Right.
How do you kind of still take that step forward and trust in yourself, putting that absolute faith in yourself?
You've just got to do it. You've just got to say, those people are not me. They're making their recommendation out of fear, because whenever you're counseling somebody else, if one thing is risky and one thing is cautious, you should do the cautious thing. Everybody says, do the cautious thing. Don't walk on the bars when you fall off.
Right.
And but if you know that that's where you want to be, and I want to try that, well, then you've just got to do it and realize that everybody else is coaching you from a perspective of fear.
Number one, it's almost like they're projecting their sense of reality onto you. But number two, from what we've had this discussion in the past, and there was a lot of fear for you, wasn't there?
There's always fear.
Even right now.
Even now, every Ironman. I think you know what you're getting into. Yeah. Even the first time you don't know it because you haven't done it.
Right.
You just look at the distances you got.
The sheer enormity of it.
What am I getting myself into? And now I've done it twice, and I'm getting ready to do another one, and I think, why am I doing this again? And it's always scary. I know it's going to hurt, and I know I'm going to push through the pain, and I know it's gonna feel rewarding when I'm finished. And it's the same with any business decision or lifestyle decision. There's going to be pain involved when you start any business. There's going to be lots of pain. You don't know where it's going to come from, and you may even fail, and then that's going to be really painful.
Yeah.
And then you may have to start a second time and say, right, I'm going to get back up and do it again. But knowing that you've got it in you, everybody's got it in you to get to your goals. You just got to be able to take one lick after another, put one foot in front of the other, just keep moving forward, and know that you'll get there. And just trust in yourself, and trust in the universe is going to help you, you know, and that's something that I think with me, whenever you get in a place where things just, you never know how they're going to happen, and it seems like it's impossible, something happens, and all of a sudden what seemed impossible isn't impossible anymore, and it's like, what? Where'd that come from? Where'd that help come from? But it's there, and then the next thing you know, you're at your goal, and you've done it. You know?
Well, yeah, and it's you know, it's also to this the amount of fear that we're willing to take on is in direct relation to how big, you know, our dreams
for sure
are going to be, and how much, you know, they're going to manifest. And you know, you mentioned something, you know, in some of our previous discussions too, and you know, I'll kind of lead you in here, but you've told me once that if I'm not scared making my dreams,
then they're not big enough. Your dreams should be scary. If your dream is not scary, it's too comfortable, and you're not dreaming big enough, and you're not going after your full potential, because we can all do amazing things.
Right.
And to do something amazing, you have to set this really big goal that should be scary, and should also seem like, you know, it should be a huge stretch where you're not really sure how you can do it or if you can do it, but you somehow believe you can.